It's already been made official that Notre Dame has its new quarterbacks coach in Gino Guidugli, and tight ends coach Jared Parker has been elevated to offensive coordinator while also keeping his tight ends coach job. And it's been previously reported that Joe Rudolph will replace Harry Hiestand as the Irish's new offensive line coach, but the coaching updates do not stop there. Before we dive into the video, please do go ahead and hit the thumbs up on this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel to help support what we're doing here at Blue and Gold and to check out all of our Notre Dame videos. News broke on Saturday morning that special teams coordinator Brian Mason is taking the same position with the Indianapolis Colts. Mason was arguably Notre Dame's most impactful assistant coach in 2022, and he's turned that body of work into a job in the NFL. Mason is a Zionsville, Indiana native. That's, of course, a suburb of Indianapolis. This seems like a destination job for Mason. He arrived at Notre Dame in 2022 and was Marcus Freeman's first assistant coach hire when Freeman became Notre Dame's head coach. He worked with Freeman at Cincinnati from 2017 to 2020 and was the Bearcats special teams coordinator from 2018 to 2021. Notre Dame's special teams unit was excellent last season, tying the national lead with 7 blocked kicks, all of which were punts, and Mason won Football Scoop's 2022 Special Teams Coordinator of the Year. A little over 24 hours after the news broke that Mason was going to the Colts, it appears that Notre Dame already has its replacement for Mason, and that news broke on Sunday. Notre Dame is expected to hire Ole Miss special teams coordinator Marty Biagi to the same position. According to a report from The Athletic's Matt Fortuna, he will be in South Bend on Monday for a formal interview that should complete the move, per an ESPN report. For folks wondering, how is this move expected to take place before the formal interview has taken place? Yeah, I know that the Andy Ludwig situation kind of has us all on high alert on stuff like this, but think back to when Tommy Rees was poached by Alabama. Alabama sent up that plane with the big A logo on it in South Bend and flew Rees down for that formal interview. And the news had already broken before then that he was expected to take the job, and that's certainly what Blue and Gold sources had indicated. But again, that happened before the formal interview. It's kind of the same scenario here. Our understanding is that there's already like a verbal agreement in place, and that Biagi is definitely expected to take the job, and it will again be completed on Monday, and then an announcement should take place in the near future. When exactly that is to be determined. We're still waiting on the Joe Rudolph move to become official. We know these things can take time, but it does look like Marty Biagi will be joining the Notre Dame staff. Biagi was a kicker and punter at Marshall from 2004 to 2007, and he has a good bit of coaching experience as well. He was just at Ole Miss for 1 season. Before that, he was a special teams coordinator at Purdue for a couple seasons. North Texas is where he coached special teams from 2017 to 19. He was actually on the Notre Dame staff in that 2016 season that we would like to forget as a special teams analyst. In 2015, he coached cornerbacks at South Dakota, even spent some time at Southern and Arkansas Pine Bluff, coaching defense and special teams. Moving along in the coaching news, there was a report a few days ago from Football Scoop naming Notre Dame's Chancey Stuckey, the receivers coach, safeties coach Chris O'Leary, and running backs coach Dylan McCullough being pursued by NFL positions. It certainly wasn't a surprise to see McCullough's name linked with some of these NFL jobs. He coached with the Chiefs when they won a Super Bowl. He's got outstanding experience and an impressive resume. Stuckey is a fast riser in the coaching ranks. O'Leary's name being linked with the NFL was a little bit surprising, but you know, the Baltimore Ravens expressed interest in him, and of course he coached Kyle Hamilton at Notre Dame, and Hamilton was outstanding his rookie year for the Ravens. But it does appear that this special teams opening that Biagi looks to be filling is going to be Notre Dame's last. It's our understanding that Stuckey, O'Leary, and McCullough will be remaining on this Notre Dame staff. Look, as we know, these things can change, but Biagi does look to be Notre Dame's last new coach to be hired. And I should note, when I say coach to be hired in terms of coaching change, that does not include your support staff, because Chris Watt who spent the 2022 season as an assistant offensive line coach to Harry Hiestand. It's been reported that he will be joining the Indianapolis Colts as well as Brian, according to The Athletic's Matt Fortuna. Watt was, of course, a Notre Dame offensive lineman about a decade ago, and spent this past season on the staff. He was the Notre Dame, he was a graduate assistant at Notre Dame from 2019 to 2020 before joining Chip Long, who was Tulane's offensive coordinator in 2021, as their offensive line coach. Watt was actually a candidate for the offensive line coach opening, but it did feel like when he was not selected for that job that, you know, his trajectory as a coach is beyond a grad assistant or analyst, or whatever his exact title was, and that, you know, I think going to the NFL, and he's probably not the Colts, you know, offensive line coach, he's an assistant guy there, but it's still an upward trajectory for Watt, and we definitely expect him to be a household name offensive line coach. It's just going to be a matter of time. So that's it for the Notre Dame coaching news. The full coaching staff roster, if you will, is, of course, head coach Marcus Freeman, quarterbacks coach Gino Guidugli, running backs coach Dylan McCullough, wide receivers coach Chancey Stuckey, tight ends coach and offensive coordinator Jared Parker, offensive line coach Joe Rudolph. Of course, Rudolph has yet to be officially named as the offensive line coach, but that is the expectation. Over on defense, you have coordinator and linebackers coach Al Golden, defensive line coach Al Washington, safeties coach Chris O'Leary, cornerbacks coach Mike Mickens, and of course, special teams coordinator, the expected hire of Marty Biagi. If you haven't hit that thumbs up video and you liked what you saw in this video, now's a good time to go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Help support what we're doing here at Blue and Gold. Subscribe to our channel for more content. And as always, folks, we'll catch you next time.